Our group is planning to study the gender stereotype in workplace. We would like to transgress the gender norm of both male occupations and female occupations in workplace.
We are going to apply for various kinds of jobs which seem to be dominated by one gender. In many cases, electricians and motor mechanics seem to be professions dominated by men. Women who work as pilots are in the extreme minority, and those who really work in the field are the ones who excel.
Due to the gender norm that women are kind-hearted, detail-minded and tender, women are relegated to jobs supposedly adapted to their physical capacities like teacher, beauticians, and are excluded from the jobs that are meant to suit for men only.
In fact, it is impossible to demonstrate scientifically the existence of biological differences between women and men which suits either sex for particular jobs. In Hong Kong, gender norm in workplace prevents women from entering male professions such as construction and trucking, and prevents men from entering female fields like teaching and secretarial works.
In the first part of our project, we phoned the companies and asking for a job interview. First, we have chosen the occupation which are normally dominated by males, which is the delivery man.
同埋，因為我又覺得自己體力係應付到所有。
但係真係我哋好似我哋百貨公司可能真係啲
搬嘢咁樣。
搬嘢除咗搬嘢之外，啲貨物都比較重。但係嗰啲其他職位都會考慮㗎啦。係。OK， 但係咧即係機會真係比較細啲。係啦，part-time sales 嗰啲就唔考慮，淨係 part-time 倉嘅啫。係。我先以為自己睇錯咗，知唔知？係啊。我哋寫錯咗。考慮我可能因為其實我見你嘅身形同埋，因為主要你即係通常男性做嘅呢啲工作都比較多，好比較少女性做嘅。係。咁好啊！我睇翻資料再考慮翻你啊。好啊好啊，唔緊要唔緊要。劉生想見我哋公司嘅part-time倉務。係。你可以翻咩時間㗎？
我1至5都得。
人工嚟講咧，咁呢個工作我哋本身會有個底薪、提供同埋飯錢津貼嘅。呢個工作因為我哋一般嚟講呢個工作都需要 second in 嘅，咁所以我就會留咗你嘅資料先。
Today, my groupmates and I went to apply for the delivery man job, and the lady who interviewed me was surprised. She wondered if she misread the application form, and during my interview, she kept asking me if I would consider part-time sales a more girly job instead of delivery man, which requires a lot of physical strength. And I do see the gender differences because my interview was all about I don't think you're suitable, I don't think you're fit enough for this job because it requires a lot of physical strength. But for Ken's, my groupmate's interview, it was all about when can you start working? There will be a second round interview for you, and it was all about the salaries, etc. So I do see the gender differences, and I think I have violated the gender norm that girls usually won't apply for such job.
我想問你哋係咪請人送毛巾啊？
請人送毛巾？
係啊。
係啊。即係你話跟車嗰啲？
係啊係啊。
車啊？
送毛巾咯。
送毛巾跟車嗰啲？
係咯。
邊個做啊？
我咯。
你？
係啊。
你抬唔抬得起一包嗰啲毛巾先？
我得㗎，我不嬲有台可以同我做到運動㗎。
係咩？
係啊。
好重啊
喎！係啊，係咪即係你哋覺得即係唔 prefer 請女仔啊？
好似話女仔做跟車喎。
I have conducted some phone interviews applying for male professions. I'm breaking the gender norms because women usually won't consider this kind of jobs. They don't apply for it. There are 2 interviews that impressed me the most, and both of them were about delivery man. Yeah, man. Actually, I felt being discriminated because they kept questioning me whether I'm strong enough. But after I assured them that I'm very muscular and I do sports regularly, they still don't believe in me and won't ask me for an interview. One of them even asked whether I'm applying for a clerk when I called. What made me feel is, why can't girls be muscular and strong to deliver their heavy items? At last, both of them said they don't consider girls. So I think that women are being discriminated when applying for the male profession because we don't even have a chance for interview to prove that we have the ability.
喂，喂，唔該，我想問呢度係咪請美容啊？
但係我哋請女性嘅。
好啊，對唔住啊，唔好意思。
係。今次想嚟見銷售嘅職位。
美容。係啊。
點解嘅？好似男仔會咁有興趣嘅喎。
係啦。
咁你唔去揀啲譬如話理貨嘅工作嘅？
我諗過。
如果好似你而家咁嘅情況咧，咁我哋又即係叫做可以安排到其他啲嘅店務嘅工作俾你啦我哋叫做理貨嘅工作嘅。
So I have applied for some female gendered jobs like cleaner and some beauty industry occupations. The most impressive thing for me was the face-to-face interview for beautician in SOSC. Me and my groupmate Kiki, who was a girl, applied for the same job and we faked a similar background. For Kiki, that was a very normal interview. She was asked if she had experience on that industry and some knowledge about cosmetic products, and she was hired immediately after the interview. But when the interviewer turns to me, they said they do not hire an experienced beautician. So that there is really a gender stereotype in Hong Kong, and they do not hire men, and it feels really embarrassing.
喂，係我想問咧，你係咪請美容師㗎？初級美容師。
美容師。係。你以前做開美容㗎？
唔係啊，我你
美容師喎，係嘛，先生？
係啊。
即係幫人做 facial 嗰啲喎。
係啊。
When I'm making the call, I felt quite embarrassing because it's just like I'm paying the phone and I don't think they want a male beautician too. When I try to break this norm, the staff first think I'm asking for a wrong job title.
美容師喎，係嘛，先生？And
then she thinks I don't really know what a beautician's job is.
即係幫人做 facial 嗰啲喎。
But she never thinks that it's really a male who wants this female job.
Referring to the responses of the interviewers, 6 out of 8 male gender occupations, which is 75% of the respondents, claim that they only hire men. Only 25% of the employers consider both genders. For female gender occupations, it is even more extreme that only 1 out of 8 employers was willing to hire both genders, while the rest claim that they will only consider women.
In most of the cases, the employers directly rejected our applications because of our gender. They told us that they would not consider a single gender for such a job without testing our capability. For example, all employers of delivery men and warehousemen refused to hire a girl as they considered girls are not physically strong enough to carry heavy items, even though we claimed that we always do weightlifting exercises. They did not give us an opportunity to test our physical strength, but boys were given a chance for second interview. For beauticians, the employers rejected applicants of the boy without testing their knowledge of cosmetic products, while girls were immediately hired after an interview. In some of the cases, the employers even told us explicitly that it is unusual or weird to see such gender applying for that job. Some of them suggested us applying for another position, which are more suitable for our gender. For example, some of the employers asked female applicants of delivery men are they interested in applying for clerk or salesperson, and some of them persuade male applicants of beauticians considering jobs like a warehouseman.
Based on the responses of the employers, we can conclude that there is obviously gender stereotype of occupations in Hong Kong. Employers perceive that there are biological and personality differences between male and female, which suits either sex for particular jobs. Male are relegated to male gender occupations, such as delivery man and motor repairer, as they are perceived to be physically stronger and acquire more mechanical knowledge than women. Female gender occupations, such as cleaners and beauticians, are dominated by women, since they are considered to be more careful, more detail-minded, and acquire more knowledge on aesthetic products than men.
In Hong Kong, there is a gender norm in workplace that male and female are confined to particular occupations which suit their gender role and prevents them from entering industries that belong to another gender. The norm is repeatedly enforced by employees' attitude and the responses in job interviews. Applying for a job that does not suit our gender role would be considered as weird, abnormal, and usually be rejected directly without testing our ability.
Our interview experience does show that many of the so-called gender occupations, such as delivery man, warehouseman, and executive secretary, hire single gender. But does it really show inequality between men and women?
We don't think the result of our experiment shows inequality between men and women, since both male and female are under occupational gender segregation. Women are recognized as low physical capacity group, while men are seen as lack of caring group. And this is why some occupations which require physical strength do not hire women, and some jobs which requires love and care do not hire men. Both sexes have their own difficulties in seeking jobs due to the gender stereotype from employers.